As you probably may know by now, the American Express Gold increases annual fee from $250 to $325. So that's a $75 increase. I posted about this on my Instagram page, and a lot of people seem to be ready to jump ship and cancel their American Express Gold. And primarily, a lot of people use the American Express Gold because it is an ideal dining card. It earns 4 times points on dining worldwide, and it earns 4 times points on groceries, which is pretty much industry leading, especially when it comes to credit card points that you can transfer it out to airline and hotel programs. Despite that, with the increased annual fee and all the additional benefits that American Express is introducing to the card, it just seems like a lot of people are ready to jump ship and cancel the American Express Gold card. So in this video, I'm gonna go over a couple different options on what you can replace the American Express Gold with when it comes to dining and groceries. My name is Max, and I help people maximize their airline miles, hotel points, and credit card points. Remember to hit the like and subscribe button down below, and let's get started. So first, I wanna preface that this is geared towards people that wanna earn miles and points for travel. And so that means earning credit card points and then being able to transfer those points out to airline and hotel programs, because that's how you're gonna likely get the most value out of your credit card points. And if you're interested in any of the credit cards that I mentioned throughout this video, my links are down in the description, and using those links help support my work. So now let's get into the first card, which is the Capital One SavorOne. So the Capital One SavorOne earns 3% cash back on dining and groceries. And you're probably thinking, hold on, why am I talking about a cashback card when I mentioned earlier just a couple seconds ago that this video is mostly about earning credit card points for travel? Well, the Capital One SavorOne, you can convert the cash back into miles if you have other Capital One cards that earns Capital One miles that have the ability to transfer those points out. Cards like the Capital One Venture or the Capital One Venture X. And when you're converting the cash back from the Capital One SavorOne into Capital One miles, 1 cent equals 1 mile. So effectively, the Capital One SavorOne earns 3 times points on dining and groceries. And the cool thing about this is that it's worldwide as well, and so it has no foreign transaction fees, and you earn 3 times points Capital One miles, or 3% cash back worldwide, whether you're dining or groceries abroad. It also has a bunch of different other bonus categories as well. For example, it earns 8% cash back, or 8 times points when you make a purchase through Capital One Entertainment. It earns 5 times points, or 5% cash back when you make a booking through Capital One Travel. And it also earns 3 times points, or 3% cash back when it comes to entertainment or popular streaming services as well. So those are some additional bonus categories that comes with the Capital One SavorOne. And the great thing is that the card has no annual fee. And so if you're able to pair the Capital One SavorOne with a Capital One Venture X or the Capital One Venture, then you have a 2-card setup that will earn you a bunch of points on dining and groceries and a couple other categories, as well as the 2 times points that you earn on everything when you put on the Capital One Venture and the Venture X. And everything between both cards can be combined and be able to be transferred out to airline and hotel partners. Capital One transfer partners are pretty solid as well. They have Air Canada Aeroplan, they have British Airways, Air France Flying Blue, Virgin Atlantic, and a unique one is Turkish Airlines, just to name a few. So they have a pretty solid list of transfer partners if you want to transfer your points out to airline and hotel programs. So next up is a Citi Strata Premier that earns 3 times points on dining and groceries worldwide. It also earns 3 times points on gas and EV charging as well, and 3 times points on flights and hotels, which means that it's a solid all-around credit card. There's no foreign transaction fees as well, so you can use this card whenever you're traveling. The points you earn on the Capital One Strata Premier are Citi Thank You points, and those points are transferable out to a bunch of different airline and hotel programs. Not nearly as good of a list of transfer partners as Capital One or American Express, but it's still pretty solid. They have Air France KLM Flying Blue, Avianca Life Miles for your Star Alliance flights, and you can also transfer your Citi Thank You points over to Qatar Airways, and from there you can convert them into British Airways Avios, and so you can use that to book One World flights as well. And so the transfer bonuses aren't nearly as good, but still you have a decent amount of options to transfer your points out to airline and hotel programs. The card does have a $95 annual fee though, so keep that in mind. And so next up is the Bilt Rewards card. The Bilt Rewards card earns 3 times points on dining, but it doesn't earn any additional bonus points when it comes to groceries, which I think if the Bilt card added a groceries bonus category, they would sway a lot more people to put more spend on the Bilt card, but that's just my opinion. You can let me know what you think in the comments. The card has no annual fee, which is great, and you can also earn additional dining points if you dine at a Bilt dining participating restaurant, which there are thousands of them across the US. And so sometimes you can earn 3 times points, 4 times points, or 5 additional points for every dollar that you spend if you dine at a participating restaurant within Bilt Dining. The card also has no annual fee and no foreign transaction fees. The 3 times points on dining can be used worldwide. I think Bilt also has one of the strongest transfer partner lists out there, especially since they have Hyatt Hotels, Alaska Airlines, United Airlines, Avianca Life Miles, British Airways, Cathay Pacific, and a bunch of other transfer partners. So it's one of the more well-rounded transfer partner lists compared to Capital One or American Express or Citi Thank You Points. The downside is that there's no grocery bonus category, which is kind of a bummer. Next up are the Chase suite of credit cards that earns 3 times points. So there's a couple different Chase cards that earn 3 times points. The Chase Freedom Unlimited and the 2 Chase Sapphire cards also earns 3 times points on dining. The Chase Freedom Unlimited earns 3 times points on dining and it has no annual fee. But the downside about that card is that it does charge a foreign transaction fee if you use it internationally. If you're abroad for a while or you're traveling, you can't really use the Chase Freedom Unlimited. The Chase Sapphire Preferred has an annual fee of $95. And the Chase Sapphire Reserve has an annual fee of $550. The Chase Freedom Unlimited alone can't transfer points out to airline and hotel programs, but if you combine the points with the Chase Freedom Unlimited, does the Chase Sapphire cards or the Ink Business Preferred, then that unlocks the ability to transfer those points out to airline and hotel programs. So in this case, if you want the Chase Freedom Unlimited, you do need a 2-card setup in order to be able to transfer those points out to airline and hotel programs. And those Chase transfer partners are pretty solid as well. They have Hyatt Hotels, and that's what primarily I use my Chase points for, is to transfer them out to Hyatt to get those high value Hyatt redemptions. But some of the other transfer partners are pretty solid as well, like Air Canada Aeroplan, British Airways, Virgin Atlantic, Air France, KLM, Flying Blue. But the downside about these Chase cards is that there's no grocery bonus category, which is a real bummer. There's some workarounds to be able to get additional bonus points when it comes to groceries, but there's really no direct credit card that Chase has that is geared towards groceries. So primarily you're just looking at dining bonus points when it comes to the Chase cards. The Chase Sapphire Preferred does have an online grocery thing, but who really orders their groceries online anyways? I always think ordering groceries online is kind of weird. So as you can see, there's really no card out there that matches the 4 times points on dining and groceries that the American Express Gold offers, but there's a decent amount of no annual fee credit cards that earn 3 times points, and the benefit is that you don't have to pay an annual fee, especially since the American Express Gold annual fee is now at $325. If I had to pick a card to replace my American Express Gold, I think I would go with the Capital One SavorOne, primarily because it has no annual fee and it has all those other bonus categories, and I think I value Capital One miles over Citi Thank You Points. My second choice would be the Citi Strata Premier as a close second because it's a great all-around card. But if I'm primarily replacing the American Express Gold because of the annual fee and I don't want to have to pay an annual fee anymore, and that's where I would go with the Capital One SavorOne. But that's just my opinion. You can let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments. Are you keeping the American Express Gold? Are you canceling or downgrading? And if you're canceling or downgrading, what are you going to replace your American Express Gold with? And again, if you're looking to apply for any of these cards, my affiliate links will be down in the description, and using those links helps support my work. Thanks for watching this far. Remember to hit the like and subscribe button as well, and I'll see you guys in the next one.